What is up, ladies and gentlemen? In this video, I'm going to be going over Scented, Edgey, and Commandment's 4th place Trio Cash Cup, and they are honestly one of my favorite teams to watch. There's so much to learn from them, and if you don't watch them, just start watching them, bro. Like, there's really nothing else I need to say. Let's get into it. It's a good look for height. They're in their first game. You can see they already have 15 kills. First game is honestly kind of free for pros like this, or at least it should be for the most part. They're just going to be going for high kill games. And by doing this little chop play and just spraying these kids, they're so free. Free kills. And as you can see, they killed those kids, so now they know they can have height for free. And watch this rotate, actually. So you see, let me get my little pointer over here. You see, there's all this zone. They got they were like right over here, I think, and then they got the kills over here. They send one player to go get it, and then they send two ahead, and they want to stay towards the right side because the zone, if you saw it wasn't my last video, but one of my recent videos, I was talking about how the zone, when it's first moving, second moving, any moving zone, and it's pulling towards the smaller circle, as you can see, it's like right here, and it like diagonals down. If you're right here, you have a straight shot to zone, but if you're right here, you have to go diagonal a little bit down. Like if it was straight ahead, it would pull like this, and the zone would be right here, but it angles downward a little bit, causing all the players that are in this area to go literally in this tiny little spot. So if you're in this side right here, this is where you want to be. You want to be on dead side, get all the way to over here, and maybe even a little bit over here. Dude, I'm not. Am I showing it? Yeah, I'm showing it. We're chilling. And then everyone will be over here. You'll be over here. You'll have height, and you'll just look. I mean, for them, they have height, and they can just look back, look down, and you'll see that later in the video. Right here, they have Scented behind, I believe, and then they have Commandment ahead, and Edgey's just trying to frag out. Scented does pad on them to make sure they all stay together. One thing this team does amazingly is stay together. This game you won't see very much of that because it's first game, like I said. They're just going to be going for frags, popping off, doing whatever they can to have as many points into the next game as possible, because you want to start out your tournament strong like these players do. But as you'll see in the other games, is they stay together like no other team ever. Like, they're literally so tightly together, and it causes them to like almost never die. You'll see them like all be in the last moving zone, like closing zone, it'll be fucking closed, and all of them will still be alive on low, and you'll just be like, bro, how are they all still alive? Like, no other trio is able to do that. And it's kind of crazy, but I love their play style. Let's just keep watching. But yeah, after Com gets all those after Scented gets all those mats and all the extra loot, he pads ahead, gets back with the team. One of the biggest things in this season on height is very easy to take because you have pads, and that's good for you because yeah, I can take height easily, but then that's also bad for you because you can get height taken easily. So what I like to do is I like to send two people on one layer and then one person on another layer right above, so that way you can have people will think that this is height. They won't, like, you'll mirror their builds, you'll be right above. Obviously some people will know that there's another layer above, but people will be like, oh, free height, let's pad, and then they'll see you way above. And it's good to have people on way high, only looking for people padding, making sure that no one's landing on height with pads, and then the other two are just fragging out on the lower layer. And that's kind of what they're doing. That's what most teams do. Hen, Janice, and Chapix, they send two up and one down, so it's a little bit different, but there's so many ways to play this game. And here's Edgey just popping off. I mean, that's all they can really do right now is play this like a zone war because they're so good. But this is a little scuffed at the end, this little 3v3 here. They could have played this better for sure. I guess they got a little confident because, I mean, they're sent to Edgey and Commandment in game 1 of a cash cup with 29 kills, but...
Holding the open space. Going for doubles everywhere.
See Sented's getting double edits. They do go back into zone, this other team. They made a good play. This other team made a good play. They went back into zone and took height.
100.
Sented and Calm just go crazy. That's one thing, hold up. If you're gonna pad anytime ever, just look up before you pad and then place the pad. Every time you pad, no matter what, just look up first, because you can wait. I've wasted so many pads this season, because obviously, like, we didn't have pads last season. We're getting back into the swing of things. But one pad tip and trick that you got to remember from this video is to look up first, because there can be a tree above you, a build, literally anything, and it'll fuck your pad up, and then you can get stuck in zone. A lot of shit things can happen if you don't look up. So just look up, maybe there's something above your head, just go to the side, then place it, then you're good. That's all you gotta do. Just look up, boys. But Sented still goes crazy despite hitting his head, and then they win the game. Pretty clean. Okay, this is what I'm talking about, how they usually play. They're usually on low ground. They're in a higher elo lobby. Obviously, they have a crazy amount of points. One thing that they always do, every time they're looking for a frag endgame when they're on low ground like this, is they're together. You'll see, like, if you can hear Sented's I keep saying calm, and, like, Commandment is also called calm, but you'll hear Sented's communication with Edgey. He's always like, Edgey on me, Edgey. He's always talking to Edgey, because them two are always together fragging. They're both fraggers together, because obviously you have one support, one IGL, one fragger, but you want to have like the support and the fraggers like play together. I mean, Sented's also the IGL. They have a very weird and also amazing play style, but they always have two people fragging together at the exact same time, never splitting apart. Like, literally, just watch this. Like, whenever they're together, they're unstoppable, bro. The only time they die is if they split up. They're looking from different angles at the same box and shit.
Edgey right here.
Edgey right here. And then all they do is take that wall, little blueprint at. Look at how fucking, bro, they're so disciplined. They literally just killed fucking a whole trio. Did you see that loot? Anyone else besides this team is going to grab that loot. They just say, nope, Commandment's already a year ahead of us. Let's just get to him. We don't need the mats. And then they're gone. Like, they're so disciplined. It's honestly crazy. But, like, literally all they did is had Scented and Edgey together. Scented took the wall and then blueprinted, edited it so he can do it from further away. And then they both sprayed in and just killed everyone. Free kills. And then they just leave the loot. Fuck it. 3 free kills, we'll take it. Let's get ahead. We don't need that shit.
Look down right here.
One thing I love how they look down. Like, opening up a wall. I mean, obviously, if there's people on your layer, you might want to try to spray them out or, like, get them to a different layer or even switch layers if you're not comfortable being on the same layer as someone else. But the best thing to do is, like, edit your floors and look under you or, like, look for people on your walls. You just want to, like, just try to be super aware of places you can get refreshes at all times. The best places you can get refreshes are editing those floors and cones like you'll see them do. Obviously, they're going to edit walls as well, but they always look down if they're not on low. And then if they are on low, then they look up and drop people down, or they look for people. Like, you'll see. But they drop so many people when they're on low, and then they look down. when they're trying to drop people here. They drop that kid in. Free refresh. The way they play is they just keep getting ahead, and then when they see someone near them, they drop them, and then they all like stop tarping, and then they kill him together, and then Commandment goes ahead after they like when he's like, oh, okay, my teammates are chilling, then that's when he goes back ahead, and then he lets his teammates get the loot and do whatever they need to do. And they got some good communication. Edgey out. Playing as a team. Look at how together they are.
I'm dropping you guys. I'm not with you yet. Hold it. We need to stay together.
Looking back. This is how they like to play. This is when they're in their element, is when they're on low like this. Low ground, scented Edgey and Commandment is on another level. They're trying to get this other team off of their lair. They want low ground. They just shit on everyone. No one else is on low. They didn't even grab any of the loot. They didn't grab any of the loot. They just grabbed none of the loot. Like what? No, it's actually insane.
Could be, but we want them to fight, so we tarp. How many masks, guys? How many masks? Okay. We can edit up. Nice. Okay. 3v2. Chuck in it, Edgey. Chuck in me. And calm down. Okay, we look up. No. We're gonna fight this. Straight up. We can't let this go to heal. Spray.
Seriously, you guys gotta watch Edgey on YouTube. Commandment and Scented don't post. I mean, Scented posts montages, but Edgey's the only one that posts their endgame. But literally every endgame, it's like this, bro. I don't even know how that's even possible. But they're all alive. Last closing zone. They're just placing cones above their head. And then they either have heal off based on how many heals they have, medkits, floppers, whatever. And also based on how stacked it is. But now that they see it's a 3v2 and they only have like one chug cannon left. I mean, I think they each have one, but they only have like one splash left each or something. Some like low amount. They know they need to fight it. So they send Calm into zone to go up to height. And then they just spray him. Actually, he came back, but...
Did you get your stuff in? Wait. Yeah, nice. And then play chug cannon.
They're just so good, bro. They're just so good. They just place those cones and then look for plays.
How many?
On low every time. Last closing zone. They're always alive. But that's one thing you can do if you're on low, is send one person into zone and try to get him to take height. Or if he can, like, honestly, when they're going into zone like that, like they can take 10 ticks, like if they're 100 HP. At that point, I would just have someone on height, and then they wouldn't even like try to look for those people because they're so low. And then I would have the people on low, like to have the two and then the one above, and then you just kind of sandwich them, and there's two on low spraying them out, but this guy's just there for pressure for the most part. So they're like tweaking and they're like, oh shit, we gotta look up, and then there's two people below them just spraying them, you know. But they won the game regardless, even though Comp came back to low. Bro, that nerf or nothing kid, he killed him early in the game. He just killed this dude.
I got another one in there.
Alright, that doesn't really, I don't know. It doesn't really matter, but that dude killed Edgey in the first game, and then he just got his revenge. That's kind of cool. Never heard of that kid before, though. Must be good if he's in a lobby like this.
No. Right here, getting sick by surge. Me, dead.
See how they just, like, they have kids on their walls, like, while Commandment's getting ahead, Scented and Edgey are just looking for kids, like, on their wall. Like, Edgey gets me, holding cone, these, like, no. Then they're like, okay, now we do that. and then they just piss on this kid.
Dead.
They should have thrown that guy into their tarp before getting the loot like Scented just did. But they probably know, like they know more than I do. Scented's probably like, oh, there's no one over here. I'm just gonna kill this dude quick.
Do we have low? Do we have low or no?
But if he does do that, then there might be extra mats for Edgey and Commandment, and it also just makes it safer because they're disciplined when they go for loot. So I would have assumed that no one is there when Scented just did that to get the loot because they're smart as fuck. But if you see a body like that, just throw him into your tarp, then knock him, or I mean, then get the finish knock, and then you can
They're trying to take my wall. They're trying to take my wall.
get the mats with ease. But like as I was saying earlier, they take the complete dead side. They don't even have walls on their back. They take complete dead side, and
We need to get ahead.
as you can see, they do the dead side rotate again on low. They don't even place walls on their back. Wood. All right, here they get a little bit unlucky with the dude rotating above them, but they're aware of that, and then they get. I mean, Scented gets a free kill, but Edgey gets
Dead.
killed in the process. But that little, I mean, the wood was a little bit risky because they did kind of get fucked right there by them breaking into their tarp. But they did have that free wood tarp all the way on low ground, dead side. All they have is wood, so those people jumping in their tarp honestly wasn't the worst thing because they needed the refresh. But you'll see, Scented's insane, so it doesn't really matter. If you are a solo like this and you have like no build, like he has builds, but he's in a stacker, so he can't really do anything with these builds, and it's wood. If you are like this, the play might be a medkit play like you'll see him do here. Take one tick of zone, as you'll see he's 90 HP. He pops it like as soon as the zone gets to him, and then he can just sit in zone. You'll see how perfectly he times it. You want to pop it so that it like when your screen says 9 seconds, zone is perfectly on you, and then you're in zone. So that way you can take the 9 ticks, because you can't pop your medkit if you're 100 HP. Obviously, you have to take a tick of zone. If you're lower HP, like let's say you're 3 ticks, you're gonna want to make sure you time it so that you can take 3 ticks in zone and spend as much time in zone as possible. But as you can see, he pops it perfectly. Takes even a few more ticks, 60 HP, and then he's chilling. Gets so much more placement just because of that. Tops it. Like, look at all these players dying just because of the medkit plays. Right here, he cancels the medkit, gets a free kill, I think. Maybe he doesn't, but realizes he can't time the medkit perfectly. If you see 2 chug cannons, you can play chug cannon in zone. And he just waits to die. Top 3, he'll take it. I mean, nothing else he really could have done there. It's cool how smart these players are. It's like we just really converted that into a top 3 as a solo. Like, that's crazy, bro. That's actually crazy.
They need surge. 33 white. Crack 33 white.
If you are in a surge lobby and you already have surge, the move for the most part is to not open up at all, because you don't want to get tagged, obviously. And these kids see other people fighting, like, oh, they need surge. I don't know if you heard them say that, but they said they need surge. And then you see these players fighting, and then they just get free kills.
Keep trying, get the finish.
It's just free. Or if you see Surge actually hitting kids, fucking target them, because they're going to be looking for kills too. They're going to be in a fight, you just third party them. Those kids are, okay. These kids are in the most lobby focusable place ever. If you, okay, especially in trios, even in solos, if you see mountains and a valley, don't go in the valley, bro. That's not the fucking move. The zone is most of the time going to pull on the mountain. As you can see, it kind of pulls up. Oh, shit. As you can see, when this zone closes, it closes up here. And then they have... I mean, that's just how Fortnite zones are. They have a little bit of elevation and then a little bit of not. Like, if you see a mountain, it's going to pull towards the mountain. So you're not going to want to be in these valley areas like this where you're so lobby focusable. Because everyone that's on the mountain is just going to be looking down in the valley. This is one thing you always want to look for when you're rotating, is where the elevation is. Like I was just saying, zone's always going to pull towards elevation or down it, just because that's how Fortnite zones are. Like I said before, they want to make the game difficult. It's fun, but when they see where zone is pulling, because they love low ground, like I said earlier, Tom is like, okay, let's try to drop for low. But Scented, he's seen that zone is pulling to high, so they have to stay on this high layer to stay above the mountain. And one thing that you're doing before every rotate, one thing you should be doing, is looking for this elevation. Like I said, zones are going to be pulling towards that elevation, so you want to just be like literally physically looking through a cone or on the map where zone is pulling, so that way you can make the easiest rotate possible. For elevation wise and also dead side wise, just look where people are, look where zone is going physically on the map, and you'll have such a better rotate overall.
Right here.
They just drop kids. They don't get, I guess they do get this. Oh no, they don't. Yeah, I've seen this video before. They don't get this kill, but they say, oh, it is what it is. Let's get ahead.
Get him right here. Spraying right there. Go.
Oh, maybe not. They actually go for a couple of kills here. Then they get drops. That was a good job getting back up by Edgey. He could have actually, the other kid could have just sprayed his ramp, placed a cone quick, but Edgey just got out so fast. And now they're in a little duo situation.
Get big. Drop with me. Drop to the right. Drop right here. On me.
Just sent it again, trying to clutch up. Let's see what he can do here. Top 4, not bad. They literally just went crazy in this tournament. That was a fun video to watch. If you guys don't watch Scented Edgey Commandment, definitely start watching some Edgey on YouTube. His YouTube is literally just Edgey. Just look it up. Sub to him. Why the fuck am I? Oh, this is my second YouTube channel. I'm not sub to him, but just go sub to him, boys. I hope you guys enjoyed today's little VOD review session. Just watching some Edgey, Scented, and Commandments. I'm gonna be watching a lot more of them, just because there's so much to learn from them, and their play style is so unique, and they place in every game. As you can see, they won, they got top 2, they got top 3, top 4. Every single game they're placing, and that allows them to get cash every time they're playing a tournament. So if you guys can adapt this play style, you guys will start placing in no time. If you guys learned a thing or two, don't forget to like and subscribe, share with a friend, do all that shit. You know what to do. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.